All right, guys. Let's go straight into the poems. I'll start with the leader and the led. Yes. The leader and the led is written by Niyi Oshundari. The word leader means the person in the forefront that others are following. The led means the followers. Are we together? Niyi Oshundari did not hide his emotions in this poem by making us realize that truthfully, Africa, especially Nigeria, is an animal kingdom, especially when we want to choose leaders. Are we together? And I don't think I disagree with him. Because even you, as you are there like this, now they say it's time for us to choose leader. If they give you the opportunity, you know that you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the skill, you don't have the experience. You will naturally think you want to lead and learn on the job. That's animalistic. It's not. It does not used to bring sense, and that's why Africa is the way it is. You need professionals who know how to manage the state affairs. So Niyo Shindari has described the animal kingdom as Africa and Africa as the animal kingdom. And he uses animals to tell this story in this poem. So this poem is a fable. Yes, it's a fable. It's a dramatic fable. All right. So with this being stated, we see different animals coming to say that they want to be leaders. The lion comes and says that he's the one that's supposed to be the leader. But you see, the antelopes, when don't they chop, they remember his ferocious pounds. The way until they dive, they knock them, they chop them. And he now come in and say, want to become leader. Ili, come and be leading it. They turned him down. So immediately the what do you call it? The hyena sees this. The hyena is happy that thank God they have already turned down the lion. He came and said it's his own turn, that is the one that is supposed to lead. But the impalas are some animals that look very close to the antelope too. And their skin is very soft. And if you see their skin, as at the time with these animals they contest, those impalas they just bought new cream. They just import some cream from the UK that time. If you see as their skin fresh. So he said the impalas shudder at the lethal appetite. Lethal appetite be like see their teeth, the teeth of those hyenas, e be like weapon. So they turn down the hyena. As they turn down the hyena, the giraffe comes. The giraffe claims that he's the one that is supposed to be the leader because he's tall. But the other animals look at his long neck and they say, oh, Benny, if we allow this one be our leader, his ears and eyes, they are up, 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 up. He will not be able to hear us when we are shouting, help me, help me. They don't they carry me go where I don't know. So they turned him down. So now we see the elephant. The elephant, they said it trudges in jum, jum, boom, boom, bang. I am Mr. Elephant. I'm the best man for the job. So everybody wanted to agree, but when they look at his weight and they look at the size of his leg, if this one go vex one day, he can trample on us and crush us to death. No. So they turned him down. Now, which other animal? Yes. Okay. The zebra. Yes. The zebra also came and said, all these other people are not good, I'm the best. Whereas that zebra, he did not know that on his skin color, on his skin, he has two colors, the white and black. So people started getting confused with which one are you? Are you white? Are you black? Which one? You're not straightforward. Oma will not fit allow you. So they turned down the zebra too again. Then he said the rhinoceros, rhino, one ugly animal like that, very rough. They said he is too riot. In fact, the moment he appeared, it's like Agberu. He said, Baba, we can't allow Agberu rule us. Go and sit down. Then the warthog, one particular animal, warthog, is like a pig that has on in front of his nose like this. If you have watched Lion King. So they turned him down because he's ugly. And we have examples of people like that in real life, ugly leaders, but people did not turn them down. So that's how everybody started fighting. What do you mean that can't be? You two, what do you mean? You two, you're not the. So he said, and the pack trashes about like a snake without a head. Imagine a snake that they cut the head. You know how the body within on the floor. So that's how the pack is trashing about. Eventually, what happens? He said, a forest sage proclaims, a forest sage, SAGE. He proclaims. What's the meaning of proclaims? He para, say, hey, man, calm down. He says, our need calls for an hybrid of habit. Hybrid of habit means that whoever we are going to pick as leader must not have one habit. He must have the following qualifications. So this forest sage, we believe, is Niyo Shundari, who is advising all of us in Africa that when we want to pick leaders, we should pick a leader with the following qualities. First, he said the leader must have the heart of a lion and the heart of a lamb. Lion is strong, is courageous, he can defend his territory, he can provide food for his family, and he gets the freshest and the best of things. Other animals will be having, they'll be taking the rest. Nigeria is too big not to be one of the most important nations of the world. But we are so okay with settling for what others have finished using. So he says we need a leader with that mindset that things can change and I will get the best. Now, the heart of a lion, then the heart of a lamb, very gentle. He does not like to wage war or quarrel. When he sees people waging war, he's not happy. Can destroy the Boko Haram, he can take care of everything. Now, the second thing is that it says he must be someone that is fierce like a tiger. He's very fierce. He does not allow any godfather to control him. If he wants to talk, he will talk. If he wants to do, he does. Nobody controls him. He said he must be mysterious like a lake. Lake is a river that is always black and deep. You don't know what can be under. Snakes can be there. Dangerous things can be there. And of course, you can have special stones. Precious stones can be under it. It's mysterious. You can't define him. But transparent as a river. A river is transparent, so meaning that whatever he's doing is everybody is seeing the result, the outcome, is showing us how everything is going. Not that you go and hide it and be, things are not clear. That's the kind of leader we need. They now went ahead to say that this kind of leader must be a follower. Because you cannot be a good leader if you're not first a follower. You must know how to follow before you can say you want to lead people so that they can follow you. If you have experience of how to follow, you can guide them on how to follow you as a leader. Do you get that? So as a result, he said you must be a leader, but you must be a leader mindful. A follower, but you must be a follower that is mindful of your right to lead. That I'm following you, I'm serving you people, but you should not take me for granted. You should know that I'm your leader. So in the end, this guy talks about the fact that if we have all of these things put together, then we can have a standard African society that is moving forward. And that brings us to the end of Leader and the Led. Now, let me go to the second poem, The Caged Bird. Caged bird. Bird with a cage, where they put inside cage. Of course, you should know that that bird cannot be enjoying, it cannot be having fun. So, the poet, Maya Angelou, those of you that were in my classes, I've explained to you who Maya Angelou is. I told you about her life history. I told you about how she moved from a very, very, very life degrading community in America. How she became a prostitute, she became a dancer, she became a stripper, and then she met somebody while she was working as a conductor, a streetcar conductor. She met somebody who changed her life, who showed her the path to education and how she began to learn, study, and that's how she started to learn to read and write. And she saw that, oh, education can bring a better life. And she began to write and talk more about how the life of her people can be better. And that's one of the reasons that she has written Cage Bird, to describe that our people, the blacks in America at that time, are like birds inside a cage. Why the white man at that time was like a free bird. He is free to move about, to do whatever he wants. That's just the concept of the poem. It's just that he used some powerful words to describe it. He said a free bird lives on the back of the wind, right? And it keeps moving. He leaps on the back means he's flying and he's free. He's landing on trees. He's eating fruits from different trees, right? Taking worms that are waiting on the dawn early in the morning. The early bird, they say, catches the worms. So, but the cage bird, the bird that stalks in his cage, there's no light, he cannot even see. He doesn't even know whether somebody is coming to kill it. He doesn't know whether it is food they are bringing. He doesn't even know whether the man around him is just doing his own thing. That's a terrible life to live. And the poem says that the wings of that bird, the cage bird, has been clipped. They cut and come out the wings. And his feet are tied. Inside, the feet are tied inside that cage. So he cannot move. And I say, so the only thing that that bird can do is that it can open his mouth to sing. This tells you the importance of music in the black community. Music is used as a symbol of celebration. It is used as a symbol of mourning and sorrowing. So the bird opens his mouth to sing. He sings with a fearful trill, like his voice is shaky, yet he has something he wants to say. So he said, but a caged bird he sings with a fearful trill. of things unknown. He's singing of freedom, but he has never known freedom. It has known hardship and slavery and wickedness and toughness and hardship of life, but it has never known freedom. So he's singing about that freedom, hoping that one day it will be free. And of course, we are told that the voice is heard on a distant hill, but the caged bird sings. Yes, it sings of things unknown, for the caged bird sings of freedom. So basically, at the time, this poem was written around the time where the blacks were really, they were maligned, they were segregated against, they were discriminated against, and they were harshly treated. So many rappers, many singers, many artists actually talk, many writers, many poets like this Maya Angelou. In fact, she's describing herself as that voice, asking that people in the distant hill from all over the world can hear them and come to their rescue. But alas, till date, we still see what goes on in the Europe, in America, and all. Even here in Africa, in South Africa, we see the way whites treat blacks. That segregation, that hardship has not yet ended. So we will still continue to sing with a fearful trill. We'll sing of freedom. We'll keep singing. And that one is Cage Bird. Now let's go to um, Journey of the Magi. Journey of the Magi is a poem that talks about the hardship or the suffering that those men that went to see Jesus at his birth when he was a small child, when they gave birth to him, those men that traced the star of Jesus, right? Um, the journey that they went on, none of us know how stressful it was for them. So T.S. Eliot, when he became born again, he knew that he has accepted a Christ. But he heard about some people that didn't even, they were not even Christians, but they responded and reverenced that this child is a great child, and they embarked on a journey. So it's like he's taking pity on them and trying to understand their condition, on how they were able to trace and look for that child in the winter, the very dead of winter, very the coldest and the harshest period of the year. So the poem starts where the Magi, the meaning of Magi is astrologer, people that look at the star of people to know if they'll be great or not. So when there are many, we call them Magi. But if it's only one out of all of them, we call him Magos. Just like if there are many, you say fungi. If it's only one, you say fungus. Do you get that? So basically, it was one of the Magi, a Magos, out of all of them, that was narrating the story, was telling us the experience that they had. And we most likely believe that it was T.S. Eliot using the voice of one of those people because he's trying to understand, to be empathetic, to see what happened to them truly. So the poem started by saying that a cold coming we had of it, just at the worst time of the year. It says that the ways were deep, mm, and the weather was sharp. He said the camels, they galled. Gall means they complained. Sore refractory, meaning sore wound is in their leg. The snow don't choke their leg, it don't stab their leg, blood is coming out. Even the animals are refusing to continue because it was too cold and they had injuries. So it said sore refractory. It says the places that they got to, the towns and the villages that they entered, because of their dressing or the way they looked, those towns and villages were hostile to them. They were dirty and they were charging high prices. He said it got to a point they were hearing voices in their head telling them that this was all folly. Folly means foolishness. That why did you people even stand up to go on this journey? A journey that we thought would take only 3 days. It's now taking 3 months, and we don't even know whether we'll be there. So they traced the star, and they said, but we continued. He said, and then we came to a temperate valley. That temperate valley is a place that underneath the skyline, they could see trees. Then that vegetation, there's a land there in that valley is the base of a mountain. If you have mountain, the down part of a mountain where flowers are, that's a valley, and there's a road in the center. So in that center, there's a river, and that river is a stream that the water was beating the mill. Yes, and it was beating darkness. So there are symbols from those things that have been said. That water is the stream of the Spirit of God. See, beating the darkness means that it is going to defeat evil at the end of time. Now, he said those three trees that he saw under a clear sky, those three trees represent three things. The first thing it represents is that it represents or symbolizes the Trinity, a part that child is from God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So it represents Trinity because there are three trees. It also represents that that child was going to be crucified on the cross on a tree, and there will be three people on that particular spot. He will be in the center, then two thieves will be on his left hand side. So three trees. Then again, you see that those three trees there symbolizes the three, the spirits of God. Yes, the unity in the spirit, in the Godhead, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So as soon as they got there, they decided to continue the journey. And then at evening, he said they came to a tavern. Tavern is a house that looks like a guest house. On getting to that place, they discovered that there were many people, with different kind of behaviors. Say some were rolling dice, they were gambling. Some were stretching palms and asking for alms that people should give them money. And he said there was a palm leaf on the lintel of the house. That one symbolizes the Passover feast and celebration of Passover. Now, he said there were some people that were kicking old wineskin. That one represents that when that child will die on the cross, they want to give him something to drink, and he would not accept it, he will kick it out. So he said, but we did not have or we did not find information at that place. So that place represents the house of Herod, King Herod, that planned to kill Jesus. When the wise men got to him, they said a king that will be great has been born, and we came to find out whether you know about it. Turns out the king did not even know. So he now said, go and look for that child. When you find the child, come and tell me so that I too can go and visit him and pay my homage. He said, but in his mind, he planned to kill the child. So conclusively, what I'll say is that towards the end, he said, and then at dawn, we came to the place. The way they mentioned it, he said the place. Meaning, packaging, didn't have packaging. It was not encouraging. We came to the place. You can say it was satisfactory. Satisfactory means he did not even pass like a king so great that we saw a star. We now came and we saw him in a place where they keep horses. A sheep rather. That's a manger. Right? He said, well, but eventually they came all the way because of the birth, that they gave birth to somebody. But now they are witnessing a death because after encountering that child, they have to be dead to their religion. They have to leave their religion. Their religion died to them and they embraced a new religion. They were born again. So they came because of a birth, but they encountered death so that they can be born again. So now, where we know that it was one of them that was narrating is that the person now is sitting, he has gone back to his hometown. He's sitting maybe outside in front of his house and he's now saying, towards the last stanza of the poem, he said, thinking about it all now, that was a long time ago. He said, we came back to our hometown now. You can see the harsh condition that being born again can do to you. When you accept a new religion, when you find yourself in the midst of people that you have been running that old religion together, you discover that things are not the same. Say things are no longer at ease here with an alien people. It's people that used to be friends with him, that they used to be close, they go and sacrifice to the gods and the idols. He said, with an alien people, they now look like aliens to them, still clutching to their gods. You see them still bowing down to idol and stone and wood. And then he says, I would be glad of another death. Like if it is that to take all these people now to go meet that Peking, make all of them die again, make them second day born again, that he will be glad to witness another death. So you can see strongly that that is the importance of this particular poem. It mirrors the significance of the life of that child, his coming, and why people who are not even in his religion could spot him and trace him, and their life was transformed. So this writer is a religious writer, and he talks about the experience, the hardship. It is a travelogue. It is a poem that talks about the travel experience. We can also call it a ballad. Yes, a ballad. It's a poem of pastoral farmers, like people who carry animals to move from one place to the other, So we can simply put it that way. Okay, but it's more about a travel encounter experience. That's a travelogue. And that's what I'll say about the Journey of the Magi by T.S. Eliot. I'm supposed to explain deeper than this, but I'm just giving you this so that it will just sound like it will just give you an overview of what you need to do. Do you get that? All right. So the next poem I'm going to be touching Let me touch a government driver on his retirement. Yes, a government driver on his retirement is a poem that talks about the life of a driver that has just retired from active service, from working with the government. When you work with the government, you cannot spend more than 30 to 35 years. Although in a corrupt country like Nigeria, people spend up to 50 years. It's sad, actually. Other people that are supposed to get the opportunity to get that job, you won't allow them. You want to enjoy the benefit of two generations. A generation is 30 years. So when you're already 50, 60 in service, you're enjoying two generations, only you. That's greed. So this driver, having worked for 30 to 35 years, he has resigned. I mean, he has been retired, and they gave him, that's what we call pension. Pension is the amount of money they save for you from your salary. For the 35 years, they'll be saving it, because they know that 35 years you'll have given them all your strength, all your youth, you'll have given everything to them. Now, invariably, you won't be able to work anywhere again. Nobody will even employ you at that old age. So it's a wise thing to help you keep your own money, and they'll keep part of the money for you. Imagine you're collecting 600,000 every month, and they're giving you only 500,000, and they're saving 100,000 for you. At the end of 30, 35 years, that will be about 42 million. If that money first enter your hand, you know the way your life will transform. So it's just for you to be wise with the spending. Some people, especially at that old age, they look at it that how many years is left again. That they should enjoy their life till they die, Gary. And some of them, God will now bless them with extra life. That they will not even die at the time that they are thinking, and they will have lavished all the money. They will not suffer into their debt. So, like this stupid man now, his own issue is that he likes to drink. He drinks alcohol a lot. So the moment they gave him that money, he called all his friends and gathered them to a beer parlor, and they started to drink. You see, the poem started by saying that um, many years on wheels in faithful service to his fatherland. Today retires he home. Today he go retire, go house, and a celebration he holds. In that place, there's the use of inversion. Inversion means saying something that's supposed to be in front, you bring it to the back. What is supposed to be at the back, you take it to the front. It's supposed to be today he retires home and he holds a celebration. But they said today retires he home. Instead of today he retires home. Today retires he home. Instead of saying and he holds a celebration, he said and a celebration he holds. That's inversion. Do you see that? So he has called his friends to come and celebrate with him. He said, come and celebrate with me. Today frees and makes me a king. Today I have long waited for. He said for many years he has pummeled his boozy truth. Booze means drink. Booze. After the reggae, play the blues, the blues, the blues. Share the gala, share the booze. Booze is drink. Igbo people call it booze. Are we together? So he said many years he has pummeled his pummel means hold his throat, drink. His boozy throat. And now he's free. He wants to go home. He said, I shall zoom and boost myself, my sorrow away my sorrows. Meaning that the job he's doing is just seeing it as suffering because they don't allow him drink. So in the process of thinking of that, he calls his friend to come and celebrate. He said, let us joy till there is no more joy to joy. And so he started to celebrate and party. Now, people from his place of work came again to meet him where he was celebrating. More joy to send him home. A brand new car in his name. They gave him a brand new car. An appreciative symbol for 30 undented years of service to fatherland. He was faithful, only that he was not enjoying the job. He wanted to drink. So for 30 to 35 years, he tried. But what is the use of trying for that long and you allow the enjoy of a minute to end your life? Could you believe this guy collected this brand new car? He packed bottle of drinks and put it beside him on a chair and on the floor in the car. And he started to drive and was drinking. Drunk driving, senselessness. The poem said he battled with his bottle booze. That is alliteration, the use of boo, boo, boo. B, 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 repetition of consonant letters. He battled with his bottle booze on his way home on wheels. Now, booze, drink, boozed his vision. He drank, booze, drank away his vision. He cannot see again and clear judgment. He boomed his brand new car and it sent him home to rest in peace. That's how the guy died. Very useless driver. So the major thing that that poem is talking about is the evil effect of drinking and driving. That's one. The second thing it's talking about is the evil effect of joy that you cannot control. What kind of joy is that you cannot calm down first, carry that money, go and sleep at home first, settle your brain, let your brain first think before you start to spend and to live life. So in all, what I'll just say is that that poem is bigger and deeper than what I just explained. But this is a summary and a revision, and I'm saying everything from my head. It's not easy. I don't have any book here. I will have be able to quote and state some things that you need to. So use it as revision this night and work on some of those poems. So I'll just take one more poem and I'll stop on that. Then I'll touch A Midsummer Night's Dream together with Wuthering Heights, or Midsummer Night's Dream, Lion and the Jewel, Wuthering Heights, and Second Class Citizen. The journey is still far. So, the last poem that I'll touch, The Raider of the Treasure Trove. The Raider of the Treasure Trove. A raider is a thief that used to break into shop to steal away things, important goods and treasures. So anywhere you see a treasure or an expensive item, you must definitely see thieves hanging around there. So as you are a human being, you are an embodiment of treasure. There's blessings and goodness of life that God has given you, but there's a thief that is inside you that wants to rob you of that joy and those blessings. And what is that thief? That thief is called rage, 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 rage. Another word for rage is anger. Anger is a thief. If you have joy, if you have happiness, once you get angry like this, that joy disappears. It has stolen it. So the writer of this poem is Lade Wosonu. Lade Wosonu is a Ghanaian writer. It's not a Nigerian writer. Forget that his name is Lade. He's a Ghanaian writer. The question can come in your exam. Which of the following is not a Nigerian writer? Buchieme Cheta, Wole Soyinka, um, Gbemisola Adeoti, Lade Wosonu. Please, the answer is Lade Wosonu. I hope that this thing I'm recording is recording, because sometimes the mic cannot connect, and I've recorded 27 minutes. And ayé wa ò ní bàjẹ́ o, àní rúpa náà o, iná jẹnẹrétọ̀ ò ní gbé wa o, igi wédò ò ní wó pa wá o, àní dákú o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run, pepper soup àní fi tàǹbà o, àní fàdàgbẹ́ kànga o, àní fi fork mu tea o. So if I check it and I see that this thing did not work, it will pain me. So basically, anger. The poem started by asking a question. He said, but what can you give in exchange for your life? Anger that can make someone die. It can make you end your purpose on earth out of anger. I've seen where someone out of anger blow another person die. They rush the person to hospital, give up the goods. They arrested this one and put him in prison and sentenced him to death. Oh yeah. What can you give in exchange for your life? He now started explaining different things about anger. He said anger spreads a toxic film anywhere it goes to. Anger spells calamity. Anger drags rag after you. Shame, disgrace. And he said, but that's not your purpose here on earth. Your purpose here on earth is heaven on earth. You should fling roses anywhere you go. Roses are symbols of love. You should sail upstream. Sailing upstream means the guy uses imagery about the ship. When a ship is going on a destination, to a destination, on the road, there are places where it will stop. Whenever it stops, people on that ship will come down to buy things, and you interact with new set of people. You need to come to realize that people are different they will come from different places. You can't expect everyone to think the way you are thinking. So you should be able to manage situations and people. And he said why people get angry actually is that they don't have understanding of storms. If you have understanding of storms, you'll be able to manage anger. Storms there means problems and worries and disappointment and challenges and issues of life. Do you get the gist? So basically, it is very fundamental that you get to note that all these things should be put into your explanation. So in all, he admonishes us that our purpose on earth is to fling roses wherever we get to show love. for heaven is your destination on earth. Thank you.